Hey guys, it's Mr. Schmidt here, and in this video I want to talk about how do we shift, or what causes the cost curves to shift. Now, if you're freaking out here and you're like, oh my gosh, there's 7 different cost functions, I mean, how on earth, how many things are going to shift these curves? Luckily, there's only 2 things that can move the cost curves, and each of these things actually don't move all 7 cost curves. So what am I talking about here? Well, really, there's only 2. A change in fixed costs or a change in variable costs are what move the cost curves. Some of them, not all of them. So let's start with fixed costs. So let's say there's an increase in fixed costs. Okay. So if that's the case, and we'll go ahead and set up the other one, a decrease in fixed costs, and then we'll do variable on a different slide here. But so if we think about this, if there's an increase in fixed costs, we know that the cost curves that move are all going to increase. But which ones? Well, the most obvious one would be an increase in total fixed cost, right? Because that's literally what fixed costs are, right? It's in the name. If fixed costs are changing, right, then that would also mean there's an increase in average fixed costs. Because remember, average fixed cost is total fixed cost divided by Q. So if the numerator of the fraction is getting bigger, which we just said it is in the previous example, average fixed cost has to also be increasing. Remember, total fixed cost plus total variable cost gives you total cost. So if total fixed cost is increasing, the other side of that equation, total cost, has to be increasing. And if the total is increasing, so does the average. So average total cost would also increase. So we have total fixed, total cost, and average total cost. All 4 of those would increase. Now you may be wondering, what about marginal cost, right? I think it's obvious why it's not total variable and average variable, because we're talking about a change in fixed costs here, not variable cost. But what about marginal cost? Well, the thing is this, if you're increasing fixed costs, that means total cost is increasing by the same amount each time, which means marginal cost is going to be the same at each value. And one of the things you can do to prove this is go back to, say, the chart that I've posted on It's Learning, the key, and change the value of total fixed cost to a different number, and then see if that changes marginal cost. And you'll notice that it'll be the exact same numbers. And then, of course, on the other side, we just switch the arrows. So it's a decrease in total fixed, a decrease in average fixed, a decrease in total cost, a decrease in average total cost. So that'd be a change in fixed costs. So let's go ahead and do the other one, which would be a change in variable costs, either an increase in variable cost or a decrease in variable cost. And so we'll start with the most obvious one, an increase in total variable cost as the result, because it's in the name. And then if the total's changing, so does the average. Because average variable cost because total variable cost is a part of total cost increases, and so too then does its average. And because variable costs aren't the same number, yes, marginal cost would also increase. And that's really important because one of the curves that AP is fond of asking about whether it shifts is marginal cost. And students often get tripped up when there's a change in fixed costs. It does not move marginal cost. But if there's a change in variable cost, like the wage you're paying your employees, that would change marginal cost. And then we just switch them over here. Decrease in total variable, decrease in average variable, decrease in total cost, decrease in average total cost, decrease in marginal cost. So a change in fixed costs or variable cost will move both total and average total cost. The last thing I want to do here is a bit mechanical. I just want to show you how you would show a change in marginal cost, just to give you a sense of kind of the weirdness of this. So remember, marginal cost is the Nike swoosh, right? And so let's say we are here on the marginal cost curve. And so this is some level of output Q1, and the marginal cost is $3. Well, if we wanted to show a decrease in marginal cost at every single level of output, that would mean that at Q1, our marginal cost would have to be like somewhere here at $2. So we would need our new marginal cost curve to go through that point. So something like this, right? And so this is kind of weird because to show a decrease in marginal cost, we actually need to move the marginal cost curve down, which is weird, I know, because I make a big deal about, hey, arrows, left, right, not up or down. But in this case, we have to use a downward arrow to show the decrease in marginal cost. And of course, the same would work if we were showing an increase. We would use an up arrow. So you might practice shifting, I would say, the marginal cost and average total cost curves. I know it's weird to be like, why those two? When we get to the next unit, you'll see why those two are in particular importance of knowing how to physically shift them. So that's all for this video on shifting the cost curves. Until next time, have a great day.